So, listen, I'm always dealing with these scumbag motherfuckers in the industry that just want to not acknowledge my shit. I'm too gangster. I don't, or you just hate what I do. You know what's crazy? They'll hate what I do. Oh, it's subject this and that, my subject matter. But a black rapper will do similar shit, but they'll love that black rapper. So it just shows you that content shit is a lie. And, listen, there's a lot of, it's a known thing. White people who are in the industry they self-hate on other white people. Every white person that gets a place in the industry, like a Dante Ross type of place, they always hate on other white kids. They want to be the only white guy. It's a complex that the white guys that get in, because it's rare. Because like not anymore maybe, but back then it was a rare thing. You know what I mean? So now you see this other white kid coming up. These white guys from the PJs, from Glenwood Projects. They're getting into beef every day. They're rapping a little hardcore. It's a little iller than even me. I might have been in the parties and all that. I might be kind of gully, but these kids seem even realer. I'm threatened by them. So I'm going to do everything in my power not to fucking blow them up. But you know who I will blow up? The softest white kid. Because these white guys in the industry, they always show love to the softest white kids. Asha Roth, Mac Miller, you know what I'm saying? It's always those fucking dudes. And who can you say that is hardcore, thug-like, white from Brooklyn that ever blew up? But you'll have every black thug from Brooklyn and Queens get a major record deal, can blow up. Jay-Z, Mobb Deep, but there's not one white kid who rapped hard, who's thugged out from the projects that ever blew up. And if you bring that up, they'll mention like LP or something like that. When we know LP don't rap thug shit at all. He's nothing like Necro. He's nothing like Ill Bill was. You know what I'm saying? So, or Beastie Boys. It's a different genre. We're the ones. If you say who's the most known white kid that raps hardcore shit from Brooklyn, New York, you're gonna say either Necro or Bill. How the fuck is it that the hardest white kids that rap hardcore from Brooklyn couldn't blow up without doing it independently, totally their own way? The whole industry. I literally believe till this day Leo Cohen doesn't even know who the fuck I am. Probably because Search fucked that up. Because if anybody could have probably introduced me to Lear, Search could have brought us over. Lear's house, right? He knew Lear. So, it just seems like when you're a hardcore, and here's what I noticed. You notice how I said I'm the most known hardcore white kid from Brooklyn with the biggest numbers? All the other white kids that are like Italian and rapped rugged also all got shitted on. I could do a whole list of, and I'm not gonna. You do your own research, but of white kids that might have had an Italian gangster tone type of theme, none of them were able to blow up. All got shitted on. So notice, when you're soft and white, they fuck with you and say that, they make you big and commercial. But if you're rapping gangster shit, mafia type shit, Murder Incorporated shit, and you're white, they shit on you. You get deaded. And you know what the joke is? Technically, black rappers are appropriating Murder Incorporated because we get told how we're trying to be black and all that. But all the gangster shit that gets rapped, everything Nas rapped and a lot of the QB rappers and G rap, it's all from Mafia. Who are the kings of the Mafia? Murder Incorporated. Lucky Luciano, Meyer Lansky, Bugsy Siegel, Roth, Dutch Schultz, Rothstein, Capone. Not to take anything away from Bumpy Johnson, but Bumpy Johnson was created, the reason that he was needed in Harlem is because all of the pressure that a Jew, Dutch Schultz, was putting on Harlem. Because Dutch Schultz had the illest black guy working for him as he was running Harlem. So that birthed Bumpy Johnson to become into play. And Bumpy Johnson birthed Nicky Barnes and all the other guys that came after. So how can you shit on white kids that are Jewish, Italian, and Irish in hip hop? We always get shitted on. How the fuck could you shit on us?
Yo, Necro, I got a lot of other questions, man. Come on, man.
Yo,
Come on.
especially when we're rapping gangster shit. How could you act like we're not gangster too? When you're emulating our ancestors. That's part of what made me not agree with Search. He was looking at it like a white herb from Redfern that has to bow down to everyone. I'm looking at it like, nah, I'm a Jewish kid from the PJs. Did you know Brownsville was Jewish before it was black? Did you know that one of them big legends from Brownsville was a Jewish boxer that the mob killed before Tyson? Tyson knows all this shit. That's why you'll never hear Tyson ever do some Kanye shit. Tyson has respect for Jews that, and obviously Customato and Italians because he knows the influence it had on him. Some people know shit, and some people, they want to be ignorant. Hip hop has a lot of ignorance. And the reason that hip hop has all this ignorance is because a lot of these Jews that are left, first of all, they agree with them being shitted on. They have that puppy dog, I'm guilty mentality. And a lot of them don't even care if you insult them because they're making money with you. Now, it's not always making money off of you because these black guys are making money also. It's not like black rappers make nothing and it's all Jews. Or you wouldn't have a billionaire fucking Puffy and a billionaire Jay-Z if nobody made money. You understand what I'm saying? The point is everyone's making money together. But the Jew doesn't get insulted. You understand? That's why they signed West Side Gun, who put out all those Hitler covers. Now, I'm sure when other Jews in the industry saw that a Jew was signed, a black rapper was signed pushing Hitler in his artwork, that probably affected his career. But Rosenberg didn't give a shit, right? He gave them a fucking deal real quick. If he had pride for being Jewish, like he gave a fuck, you'd be like, I'm not signing these dudes with Hitler artwork. Right? That's kind of crazy. Like, how could you that's like me putting the KKK on my covers and saying, it's just art. I'm rocking, KKK. David Duke is on my cover and I'm putting him, and writing David Duke wears polo. Could you imagine if Necro puts out a fucking CD, David Duke wears polo? Would that just be accepted? It's cool. Everyone would be like, nah, he doesn't have nothing against black people. It's all good. Hells no. You know that shit would be looked at like, cut that dude off, cancel him. Okay? So that's the difference. Jews in the industry that are lefties, they're down with all that DEI type of, guilt and let them get shit on as long as they can make money with you. If they can make money with you, they don't give a fuck if you fuck their mother. They wouldn't care if you and your crew gangbang their mother as long as they're getting money from you. You understand? But somebody like Necro, who actually is from the projects and been through the beef, I got pride for who I am, And I don't click with none of those Jews, so they don't fuck with me. You know what I mean? I'm probably blacklisted in every circle. So for me so you have to know that for Necro to become 500,000 on Spotify, that has to just be because of the music is banging and because of my personality. Because I'm not getting anything from that side. Those people made sure I don't get nothing. That's the thing about Spotify. Spotify made things equal because, first of all, Spotify is owned by a Swedish guy. You understand? So he doesn't really give a shit about all that racial shit problem on that level. He just wants music to be streamed. And if you get streamed and people check for you, then you get to live. You understand? I'm not getting on the big playlists. Could you imagine if my catalog, I have 500 plus songs that I own. Could you imagine if my shit was getting put on catalogs like Drake? I would definitely have 20 million fucking Spotify listeners. Okay, I'm not getting that because the people that run the editorial are haters, and I've dealt with them. I'm actually the first one to talk to the people at Spotify and actually request for an underground hip hop playlist, hardcore hip hop playlist. They didn't even have it. Do you know that there's not one playlist on Spotify now called hardcore hip hop? but they'll have trap music, southern hip hop. They'll even have the shit that features Suicide Boys type of shit. They don't have a juggalo music for juggalos, that feature the ICP type shit. They don't have, even I heard Tech Nine has problems getting his stuff on playlists. You would think there would be so they ended up making like this underground playlist eventually 2 years after I pitched it, and they put Eminem on it and don't put me on it. So I messaged them beefing like, yo, Eminem doesn't need your help. He already has 60 million Spotify listeners. Why would you not put Necro on the underground shit? And I got into an argument with the guy, and he kind of saw it my way, and he ended up putting me on it. But I got to be honest with you. If you look at the stats of where my monthly listeners come from, it's like 3% from the editorial from Spotify. Most of the percentage is from people just going to my page and search. Because this is why I shitted on Lord Jamal and said why he doesn't have fans. Because the way that Spotify works, notice if you go to the Beatles, there'll be 50 million people listening. Are the Beatles being promoted now? No. What happens is when somebody gets Spotify and knows that this is that app that's number one and they could listen to what they love and want, they're going to type in the name. The Beatles are loved by boomers and all these people, so 50 million people are looking up fucking the Beatles. I have 500,000 people looking Necro up. It's the only fucking reason. It's not because I'm being featured on this podcast or that podcast or anything. It has to do with the fact that I touched the hearts of people through my touring, through my music, through my ads, everything I did. So I have 500,000. Listen, there's dudes you've never heard of that have 5 million on Spotify now because they figured out a way to get an audience. You won't know who the fuck they are, neither will I. There might be some guy from Germany, but he has 5 million people listening monthly to him in Germany. So we're in a different world now. It's still gatekeeper-ish, but less. So because gatekeepers don't have 100% of control over Necro, I can live. But it's gonna get even more to a point where totally there will be no control over Necro. With all the crypto and all that shit that's coming in, and I'm gonna be the forefront of all that. So a guy like Necro, it's like the last shall be first. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like people not knowing my story and just finally hearing it the first time through your fucking page, they're gonna be bugging out. They're gonna be, wow, I never knew this guy was from the projects, and because motherfuckers have suppressed me from being heard. The same way Cuban Link talks about being suppressed from Fat Joe. I'm suppressed by the industry, and the industry people, not only blacks who hate my guts because I'm a Jew. It's Jews in the industry that hate my guts because I'm the kind of Jew that votes for Trump. I think Trump's amazing. I love what Trump's doing. So I'm considered a scumbag by those people. And I didn't realize until this political cycle now, I always knew those people didn't like me, of all colors. Just these industry types that will suck your dick based on industry stats and shit, and not based on the fact that I have 500,000 people listening to me. I started seeing, well, they're all lefty, because I see online who they're voting for. And all these people that hated on me are all Kamala voters. And these are people that all have Trump derangement syndrome. So if you have Trump derangement syndrome and hate Necro, makes sense now, right? It all fucking makes sense now. Because I really love my side of things. It's not like just like casual. You understand? I really love what they're doing. And they really hate it. So what do you think they think of Necro with the type of music and the way I carry I'm down to punch people in the face. Listen, I'm not the toughest guy on earth. I'm just down that if you talk negative about me and I see you in person, I feel I should punch you in your face. That is like considered like Neanderthal. Like, how dare you think that? When the whole world is killing each other with violence, right? Every other country has wars going on, people destroying each other, but only in America and New York that I'm considered an outcast because I actually might want to use violence.